LS Fest, LS Fest, LS Fest. So LS Fest is almost here. It's one of those events I've never been to but always wanted to go to. And since that is an LS, we've decided to go this year. I didn't think they were going to have the event. So fortunately, we've been registered for a long time now. It hasn't been canceled. So we're getting close. So it's time for prep. So this video is about the prep to get ready for LS Fest, which for this car and for us, fortunately, is not much. So this engine has 300 miles on it now. So we're going to do an oil change. Just kind of get some of that initial oil out of it. Go ahead and change the filter. And then we've got one other thing we're going to do just to kind of clean up. And I'll go around back here and see if I can show you. We can get enough light in the trunk here. I have these two boxes, which are basically the shaved door handle kit. So these are actuate the poppers, and they should be up on the top of the package tray. And I'm going to climb out of here. Basically, I had them mounted up underneath the package tray just with some Velcro, which worked well until it just gets hot back there. So if the sun's beating down, then it's not sticky anymore. It just kind of falls off. So I'm going to build a bracket to mount them up there, and they can sit on that bracket. And this way, I'll probably Velcro them to the bracket, or use some magnets or something, just so I can get it in and out, unhook it if I need to, but still have it tucked up there out of the way. So that's one of the projects, but I think the main project for tonight is going to be just changing the oil. So we'll go ahead and get the oil changed, get the filter changed, let you guys see under the car, part of the car you haven't seen before, and just try and get that piece done, and then eventually start fabricating the bracket. So I've got some sheet metal laying around that I can use to bend up and fabricate something to put back there. But that may be a project for another night. So for tonight, let's just stick with the oil change and see if we can get that knocked out. Alright guys, so we've got the car jacked up now, getting ready for this oil change. I figured I'd take you underneath here and kind of show you what we're working with. If we get down here on the driver's side, and we kind of take a look up here. Let's see. So everything under here is pretty tight. We've got the long tube headers here, Sanderson long tube headers coming down. And then up here, right up there, is a improved racing, like a distribution block there. So it's got the oil cooler lines coming out, one there and then one up there, and it's all really tied in here to the headers, along with you got the oil filter and everything's right in here. So we've actually got some heat sleeve here on the oil cooler lines to protect them from the heat from the header. I mean, you can see you've got basically a finger width between that oil cooler line running up to the front and that header for this 6-inch span right here. So we've got them protected there, running the Holley oil pan, and then just running the Jegs oil filter on it here, which is what we're under here to get off. So we'll take the drain plug loose over here on this side, let it drain out, get this filter off, and go ahead and swap these out. So let's climb around to the other side here probably, and go ahead and drain the oil. I'll let that drain for a minute, and then we'll get back under here and get this filter off. complete, and now we're going to work on the next project, which is that shelf, that tray we're going to build in the back trunk. It's going to hold the actuators for the door poppers, so the shaved door handle kit. So what I've got here, if we take a look, is some scrap sheet metal I had around. It's just super thin gauge sheet metal, and I've got it marked out here what I want to do. So I want this to be my section here that I'm going to keep, and I will bend it and basically make a shelf, and one box will sit here, the other one here, and we're going to put some magnets on it, and it's just going to stick up to the package tray. So it should work pretty well. Hopefully this is thick enough gauge. I want it to be thin and light, be able to bend it easily. So we'll give this a go. I just had this laying around, just some cheap, it's like 26 gauge, so super thin stuff. So we've got the air tools out here, so we'll get it hooked up. We'll go ahead and zip this, and then we can start bending it and just throw it together real quick and see how it turns out. If this doesn't work, I'll go get some thicker stuff, but let's try this first. Piece cut now, and then I just use the grinder here to clean up the edges of it and get some of those sharp edges off, and then round the corners a little bit. So now I'm going to take and try and bend this and make us a little shelf, and so let's see how this works. Alright, so here's what I did. I went ahead and marked a line right here. You can see that. See that line? Alright, so I've got a 1-inch piece here, then I want a 3-inch, and I'm going to bend, and this is actually, this piece of scrap tubing we got, you can see here is 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up on that line, and then I'm just going to bend around here and bend around here, and then that'll should give me exactly what I need. So I'll use some clamps, clamp it to this. See just this square stock I have, this rectangle stuff that's left over, and we'll just go ahead and bend, or use this as our bending area, and we'll do it on this side, and then we'll do the same thing over here on this side. So we've bent around this square tubing, but you can see how these edges are kind of rounded. And what that does is it gives you an angle like this. You can see it's just curved, it's not real sharp. So we're going for something more like this, where it's a nice square corner. So what I'm doing is taking this extra angle here that I have, just some spare aluminum, pretty thick stuff, and I'll clamp it in the corner and then hammer around this edge, and then I clamped it up here on this side and then hammer around the edge, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So we'll clamp it to it and we'll get a sharper edge, which is what we're looking for. So let's do this side real quick, and then we should have pretty good shape here on the whole thing. We've got that shape that we were looking for. So we've got a nice box, and it turned out pretty good. So what we'll do is take and paint it black, and then I'm going to put some magnets here on these lips, you know, maybe 3 or so. And then this whole thing will just sit up in under the package tray. And then we will probably use some Velcro and hold the boxes here so we can take them in and out when we need to. And so this thing should work pretty good. Okay, so here are the magnets. You can just see here, I got these at Home Depot. Just a ceramic block magnets. So it came with 8 of them. So I've already got them here on the top. So those will just stick, and they actually stick to this. So technically I could just throw it in there like that and it would probably stay. I just went in there and tested it. But what I'm going to do is take some JB Weld and go ahead and kind of stick these on there with some glue. That way if you're taking this in and out, the magnets will stay on here instead of staying stuck in the car. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on here and then let this dry and then come back and paint it. Alright, so here's the finished product. Inside the trunk, and right here we've got that box, the tray, shelf, whatever you want to call it. And it's just held on with magnets up there under the package tray. And when you're outside the car, no one's ever going to see it unless you literally get down on your knees in the trunk like this. So, turned out pretty good. Got a couple things up there on it, a bunch of big relays, and then the box that controls everything. So it seems to be hidden out of the way. Alright guys, I gotta tell you, I'm super excited. We are ready for LS Fest. We've got the car ready. We tackled the projects we wanted to tackle today. We got everything done. We are loaded up. We are ready to roll. So, car's cleaned up, oil's changed. We built that bracket for the back. Went ahead and cleaned the wheels and tires. And basically just got everything ready to go. Went ahead and packed up. So you can see here in the trunk, we've got all our tools and we've got our cleaning supplies. So we've got everything ready to go so we can roll out. So should be an awesome adventure. Really looking forward to it. Lots of events, big car show, lots going on. So we are ready, man. We are ready. So stay tuned for more. We'll show you some live event coverage from up there. We'll show you our little road trip. So myself and my dad will be riding in the Nova. I got some buddies coming with us. Southeast Speed Shop will be there. So check that out. You can see some stuff on his channel too. Anyway, alright, catch you guys later. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you'll know every time we post a new video.